Hey everybody, we're back home from Fredericksburg, the barbecue jamboree in Fredericksburg, Virginia. A little late, but we are got our results from the competition. Tell you what, a lot of big hitters in that field. Lots of big hitters. It was the Fredericksburg Fairgrounds, and it wasn't a bad experience. We met a lot of good people. Met some new friends, made some new friends, and we was able to help out a real good barbecue competition team of ours to help him get through his competition, which made me feel fantastic. So let's go ahead and get to the meat so we can get this video over with. All right, there was a total of 34 teams at this competition. And I tell you what, we were coming off a pretty good high in Marietta. As you remember our Marietta video, I'll leave that up here in the iCard. We had 2 top 10 calls, one in chicken and one in ribs. I think it was ribs.
I think it was ribs.
Yeah, I think it was ribs.
I don't remember.
And we finished with a top 10 finish, which we were coming off that high, and we were coming down into Fredericksburg with it. So let's go ahead and get to it. We finished 20th place in chicken out of 34 with a 988, 988, 988, 989, 998, 998. Now that'll guarantee this. I'll tell you how tight the chicken competition is, and we were able to pull out a. Let's see, what was our total score in chicken? A 168.5372, and I'm looking to see if we have any chicken cards. No, pork. They hate about pork, apparently. We'll get to that. So, that was the chicken score, 20th out of 34, and that wasn't shabby. I mean, as you can tell, the scores were pretty tight, and I feel we did pretty good, but there was a lot of good chicken cookers there, so that's how it went. All right, now pork ribs. Pork ribs have been biting us in the ass since Iron Man. We got a 10th place call when Jonathan Havens come and talked to me, or actually hung out with me during the cook, and we was able to score a 10th place call in ribs. So, and we got a, God, I can't remember, call in ribs in Marietta. So, well, this one we finished 24th in pork ribs out of 34. Not my best showing, with a 978, 888, 999, which is kind of way in the spectrum. 978, 978, and 888. At least one of the 6 judges thought our ribs were fantastic. Other judges, they hate barbecue. So, at least that's my perception. You know, if one out of 6 judges at the table love it, the other 5 don't think much of it. Kind of throws you a curveball on where to figure it out. As you competition cooks out there with them kind of scores will throw your mind into a whirlwind of trying to get shit figured out. So, that being said, we had a score of 160.5256 in ribs. And that is, let's see, I don't think there's any comment cards for ribs. No. So there it is, 24th out of 34 for pork ribs. So, you know, that's where it's at. Let's move on to the pork. Now, we've been having some up and downs with pork. Pork butt is a little tricky for me. Don't understand why. It's just something hard to pin down for me. But Miss Katie does a fantastic job of making the parsley boxes. So, you know, it's never her fault that we don't get good appearance scores. So apparently, you know, we finished 24th out of 34 in pork with a 159.9544. Now here comes the yellow cards. 24th out of 34. And here comes the little bad notes. 987, they said it was satisfying, but it was dry. Which pork is full of fat, and We inject the living life out of it and cook it in a water smoker. So anything but dry is my pork. So anyway, the second judge, 987, the only thing he said was check the dry mark. Other comment was too dry. The other judge, 988, said it was too peppery. I'm lost with that one.
We don't put any pepper in it.
I don't put pepper on at all, but I do use one of my rubs. I'll tell you, I use my sweet rub with a combination of other stuff, and maybe I went too heavy-handed. And I'm thinking that I don't turn in bark, I don't turn in chunks, and you really can't taste the rub when on my pulled. So I can only think that the bark of the money mussel had a little heavy-handed on the seasoning. So we got a taste score. We got an 8 with a 2 peppery X on the box. Tenderness was an 8, and it was too dry. I guess. I don't see how in the hell it could be that way. But here is the fourth and final yellow bad news card with a 965, and it says that it was too spicy, hot spicy, which I don't know. I guess on that comp that I used to use the hot and spicy river dirt, just dash it on, but apparently that palate was tender. And I can pick up heat, and Miss Katie can pick up heat quite fast, and I don't feel that my money mussel was spicy. The tenderness score was a 5 with a dry again. The sample of pork I judged was dry and too spicy. Yeah, I'm a little lost. But whatever. It is what it is. So we finished 24th out of 34 in pork. So usually I can cook pig pretty good, but apparently pig this year is being pretty damn stubborn. Cheers. It's my evening cup of Java with my Cinnabon creamer. Yummy. All right, now we're going to move to brisket. Now, last season my brisket scores were horrible in the 4 competitions that we did. We didn't do real good in brisket. But it seems we have dialed in our brisket. We've been finishing middle of the pack, close here and there. We've gotten chicken calls, we've gotten rib calls, and until this point in Fredericksburg, we had no pork calls, but brisket is a little more uplifting. For those who follow me on social media, you've probably already seen this, but the video is late. I got videos and videos and videos behind to get these comp videos called up. So, out of 34 teams, we were sitting there, and I have to tell a little story. Every time we go to the awards ceremonies, we have our River Smokers shirts on, which are on the website for 10% off. Coupon code River Smokers 2019, and you get 10% off. We have small, medium, large, extra large, double XL, and I think we still have a couple of 3XLs. But if you're 4XL, you're out of luck. So when we go to these award ceremonies, the kids are sitting there, and especially Grace. Everybody knows Miss Grace. Every time we get to the top 10, I mean, she knows what she's listening for. Or they say a team's name, she'll look up at me like, why aren't they saying our name? And I'm thinking, I look at her, and, I said, I don't know, Grace, if we're going to get a call or not. It's not guaranteed to get a call, but it sure would be nice. And then, of course, we went through chicken. She was staring at me. Ribs, she was staring at me. Pork, she was staring at me. So, and then we started in the top 10 of brisket. And when you get to, in some of the names, and I always tell Miss Katie, when you get into team names like Pavone Brothers Barbecue, Three Eyes Barbecue, who else? There's Old Virginia Smoke, Pulling My Money Muscle with Tom Sinclair. Really best cooks on the East Coast. And it's hard to... Pig and Whiskey. I don't think it was in Fredericksburg.
Wasn't? Wolf's Revenge.
Well, anyway, Wolf's Revenge with Charles Cridlin was there. And these are some of the best cooks that you're ever going to run into east of the Mississippi. And I tell you what, some of these cooks go west of the Mississippi, they'll do just as good. These are just top-notch cookers that cook a lot. And they got me out experienced by umpteen years and umpteen thousands of dollars into their programs. So we were very fortunate to give you this brisket information. We got our first brisket call in brisket with a 5th place brisket call out of 34, and there's the micro cow. And like it was like a $116 check. And I was I was sitting there and we were rattling all that. I was about half asleep. Katie was on her phone, farting around with Facebook, and we just kind of lost all interest in awards because we only have a little bit left. And I'm always so negative. I'm like, we ain't got nothing to do with this. So when they said 5th place brisket, and then they wanted to, they said that they was hoping that we'd get a call because I was the first person that paid my way into the competition way back in January. And I was like, there's no way. And they said 5th place brisket, River Smokers WV. And I stalled for a minute, and Kay looked at me and said, that's you? And I'm like, oh, shit, it is. So I got up and went in and got our brisket trophy and a little packet of money. And here is the brisket scores. And this is the best brisket score we was able to cough up in the last 2 years. And we've been working hard all season to get this brisket dialed in. And we got a 999, a 999, 889, 989, 988, 989. Now, we finished second on our table in brisket. And we got no yellow cards. Because, yeah, obviously, they like it. I've seen good comment cards, but we got a 172.5484. Good enough for 5th place out of 34 teams and amongst some of the best brisket cookers period, in the United States on the East Coast. So we were very fortunate to pull that out. It kind of gave that ride home a little more at ease. Other than beating myself up for 2.5 hours coming up the road of why I screwed everything up, or why we didn't get a call, or why this and that, you know. So, you know, that's it. That was our Fredericksburg competition. And I believe that, let's see, Urbana, Hagerstown, Marietta. Yeah, this is our 5th competition of the season. And I was pleased. We finished the day, cause it was a double. We only did Saturday. Some of the guys stayed and cooked on Sundays. We got a 661.5656. Not our best finish, but we did finish. That's pretty good for the experience that we got. So there's Fredericksburg at the Barbecue Jamboree. And I tell you, you know, I love my fans and I love the YouTube channel supporters, and every competition so far, except for Urbana, we've had people walk up to us and me and Katie and was like, hey, you know, are you rich? I'm like, yeah, I'm rich. And oh, yeah, I watch your channel. I'm like, well, okay. And it kind of makes me feel like Mel Gibson a little bit, but then in the same sense, I'm just a guy. I put my clothes on the same way they do. So, and they make it surreal, and I'm just like, I'm just a guy. So anyway, guys, thanks for the support. Thanks for those who stopped by, and I plan on stopping by and seeing me. But I do request, if you're going to stop by on Friday night if you can, or on Saturday after 1:30. just because when I'm cooking, I like to talk, but I learned the valuable lessons about losing track of timelines, as you see in upcoming videos, upcoming video, that distractions are everywhere and you have to stay focused. So I want to thank everybody for the support. Like I said, you can go to richesriverbarbecue.com or richesbbq.com, richesriverbbq.com website, my website, and pick up, our seasonings. We got tumblers, we got koozies and t-shirts on there, and it's all 10% off for the rest of the year. The coupon code, you should already seen it in the bottom. It's River space Smokers space 2019, all small letters, and get you some of our merch. So, guys, thanks for support. Thanks for watching on our barbecue journey and our life. So, share with your friends and family in the world. And when you do share with them, tell them the best barbecue comes from the river. And we'll see you on the next one.